Hi everybody, I'm an artist from California. My name is Cherish. Welcome to part 2 of 4 of my sketchbook review. I got through that! In this tour, we're going to continue to go through the books. I think in total there was an hour and a half worth of footage, so I'm trying to break through that to get through the whole thing for you. There are going to be 2 more parts, so more to come after this. But while you're watching, I'll have what I used, the tools, the sketchbooks, all those links will be below. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I forgot, and I will certainly put it in there. And have a super day, enjoy watching, and I'll see you kind of at the end. So this is what I mean by drawing in multiple sketchbooks. This book is from May 5th, 2022. And I think I like to write things at the beginning, quotes. It says, I love the silhouette, questionable spelling, silhouette, but needs more depth in the background. Also, though I like the shape of the fire, can't read of something. Oh, of the foreground, it needs some movement and depth, something interesting. So I will write notes to myself. Often I'll write notes on like a sticky note, but I do like to critique my own work, and I do like to leave myself notes so that when I revisit, I understand what it is I was trying to go for, So here's another one, same thing, and you can see how I changed it from one to the other, where I took that tree and I made the tree more interesting by layering. I made the building less interesting, and I gave more height to other things and kind of more depth to the background. So exactly what I said. I just went ahead and implemented it here. And look, like this stuff I love, right? And I'm gonna skip past reading this one. And then this is another one where I was still exploring location and exploring landscape, because I didn't quite know what I wanted to do in a landscape. So this is I think they sell tacos here. It's like tacos, takeout, it's open, but I really kind of loved the textures of that building, and the the way that the grates are, and the way that the top of the building and the signs kind of lined up, and I loved all that. And of course you can see where I drew that kind of bled through, and I didn't really care. I kind of liked the feel of it. I liked the feel of it. Fries, because I like fries. This is a church that was in one route. I think this was probably toward the end of the pandemic, but you had your friends that you saw, or your people that you saw, that you only saw them and they only saw you. Well, this is the route that I would take to go see my people, and on that route there was a church, and I kind of liked the idea of drawing that church. No idea whose eyes these are. Francine Everett. Not sure who that is. It's another view of driving and seeing out the window. And it kind of, I really got into the Copic markers. I really got, at least for me, this is really into the Copic. Actually, no, this isn't a Copic marker. This is one of these. This is a acrylic marker. I love acrylic markers now. I love Copic markers. I love fountain pens. And it was really funny because I had taken such a long time from drawing and painting and expressing myself in this way, that when I came back to it, it was like a whole bucket of learning, because I hadn't played with any of these tools or materials. And doing this work, this was a brush pen with ink, and I just kind of fell in love with painting with a brush and with markers and exploration in those ways. Fries again, because I wanted to do a better drawing of fries. I wanted to do that's really it. I'll get into a drawing of fries and I'm like, I really want to do a better drawing of fries. It's so good. And you can see again, I leave myself notes, because I do like to remember what I was doing there. Oh, I took the car to the car wash. I got a new car, took it to the car wash, and this is just across the street. There's a McDonald's, but then also there's like the awning. And I like this kind of the way it framed itself. And this was a lady that was sitting there drawing plants. Don't know how to draw plants. More plants. And you can see I kind of take an idea and I'll keep pushing that idea in the sketchbook. So this is the first drawing of the plants. This is the second one where I was like, well, what about these shapes? And then here I was just doing a contour. What if I just contour? What if I just feel around and see what's in those shapes? And sometimes you get nothing and sometimes you get something that's great. This is my niece's baby shower, which was great. So I love these little tableaus of people that kind of bunch into a corner, and then you get this whole section of whiteness on the paper, but also just this really zoomed in, like, you know, who is this woman? This is actually my mother-in-law. But who is this woman, and how do they know each other? What are they talking about? That kind of stuff is what I really love in art, is like, what are the people talking about? Yeah, these are all of the gifts. I gave her a cheese board. It's right there front and center because, you know, I'm a star. More junk. I think, oh yeah, I got some new ink and had to try it out. I don't have it right next to me, but this is the same brand. It's a Birmingham Pen Co. Pittsburgh. This might be the same color, is it? No, this is like a blue. But look at that. I just love that. I love an ink. I filled my pen with that ink though. I think it's more for dip pens than for fountain pens because I filled my pen with it and it just spilled all over me. Oh, these are drawings that my nephew and I were doing. We bought all these little weird baby things and we were making rooms for the babies, and it was funny. We just went into a rabbit hole of room design and, you know, like there should be a circle rug. and then like, no, there should be this thing and that thing. And it was just fun to play and to figure out, like, you know, it's like problem solving with him. So these were fun drawings. And this gets me back to another view. And I think I started making these like little squares because I wanted to see a spread of things. And also I wanted to like enlarge a thing. So like this is just a light that was in this drawing. So I just enlarged it so I can draw it more, you know, specifically draw that thing. And I don't know, like for me, I remember things based on like when I was there, what I was doing, that kind of thing. Like I know exactly what this is. I was driving to my cousin's house. Don't do this. If I took a picture of the mountain over the moon over the mountain because it was just so cool. But I was driving when I took that photo. Back to drawing from whatever is on my desk, and there was a camera on my desk, so I decided to draw all the pieces of the camera because I had become fascinated with drawing things that I had never drawn before. So drawing objects is something that I had never focused on before. I was really focused on drawing the figure, and I was never really focused on drawing things around the figure or things that the figure would interact with, a person would interact with. So I've become very interested in drawing things because I would love to draw figures and their things, you know? So this is the top of a camera. Ooh, love this paper, but that's the top of a camera. And then I think I was just, fiddling around. Oh, and this is the start of a painting that I never did, but you can see I did kind of a rough drawing of the painting and then all of these notes around that painting because that's how I think, that's how I figure it out. And looking at this now, it kind of makes me want to go back to it because this is like, my house doesn't look like this anymore. Like this blue around the window was blue tape because we were having everything painted because our house was like this weird, awful yellow color and like yellow walls on the inside. and it was so gross. So we've, you know, since painted everything, but there was a moment where everything was kind of disheveled and disarray, and we had plastic over the windows that acted like this really great scrim that just diffused the light in such a beautiful way that you know, we couldn't see out of the windows, but the light we got into the windows was amazing. Stuff. Drawing hands, because we always practice our hands now. We as in me. I always practice my hands now because there was a moment where I was drawing hands. It was so bad that I stopped and literally was like, no, we have to draw like 50 pages worth of hands. I think here was the start of my tea painting. I ended up doing this painting, but I did the painting of a teacup from top down with like a really graphic shadow, and I loved it, but I had to I always feel like this is where I start, you know? The plant in my office that's so sad right now, it needs way more water. Back to, look, like those little animals, they come in handy, man. You really need to get them. And I think I bought a ruler, so of course I had to play with the ruler. And then more hands because I had to do them. And again, you have to, that's the pigtail, but it looks weird, so I'm gonna cover it up. But like those little animals, like having them and having them right there with me really helped me to like learn how to draw things and learn how to, you know, like when am I gonna draw a unicorn? Well, I have a little plastic one and it's amazing. Oh, I bought new pens again. So these are acrylic pens. Hey there, busting in the middle just to make sure that you know that I just finished one book and I'm starting another book. And for some reason I did not say that on camera when I filmed it. So I'm just telling you, this book is done and a new book is starting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So this is Kate from the B-52s. Love it, love it, love it. See, this is still 2022. I'm just saying, like, one of my goals in 2022 was to be prolific, and I kind of thought I didn't reach that goal because I didn't create a lot of paintings, but I created a lot in my sketchbooks, guys. My new Starbucks cup, which is now my old Starbucks cup, and there he is, Rick James. Do 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 do. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But yeah, I drew Rick James. It doesn't look like him, but it kind of does look like him. More collage-y drawings and stuff with the Copic markers. I love a good, like, here you go. I love a good marker moment. So I have the Copic markers, I had Blick markers, and at the time I was buying markers like crazy. Oh, and you can see I was just experimenting, just trying things. These are acrylic markers, like, not the big ones, not the fat nib, but they had this kind of acrylic marker, the Edding acrylic thing. Love them. Oh, I skipped over. And then, gosh, this might have been the last time I went to Mission Fitness Center, but I was still drawing hands, still into them. So my friend Betsy posed for me, and it's not often I get someone to pose for me. So I was like, yes, thank you, Betsy. You know, and I ended up doing this drawing of her hands in marker, which was again fun. Oh look, there's a Yana drawing. So see, I'm all over the place when it comes to sketchbooks, and I really will. I like make 50 ugly sketches before I make the real thing, you know? And this was my friend Veronica. If you look at my work, she's in it a lot, but she like will sit still, okay? So I like whip out the camera and start taking pictures of her, and she just kind of gives me the moment, gives me the pose that I'm looking for, which is great. See, this is, I mean, not great, but it gives you a perspective on like, okay, I'm gonna start drawing objects. They're all gonna start bad, and then eventually they get good. Yeah, what, you know, swatches. I like swatches now. If I get a new marker, I'm swatching. And then like I just drew like a bunch of folded towels and just practice. Like, what kind of marks does this thing do? You know, just get in there and practice it and have fun with it. And, you know, what does my couch look like? Well, that's what my couch looks like. My couch is brown, so it's not like this, you know, whatever. But I loved playing with the markers and like giving them, you know, their time. And I'll just kind of start drawing, and it's fun that way. Where did it go? No, I guess it's not in here. I did a drawing of pickles. I was like, yes, okay. This drawing is funny, the drawings where you don't like them and other people do like them, because I showed this to a friend and she was just like, oh my God, this is great. And I was like, the broccoli? Yeah. It's not even finished, but she was just like, no, it's totally awesome. And I was sitting, this is the same person talking about it, but I went to get my eyebrows done. I was sitting outside of the salon looking in and drawing the chair. There was a woman in the chair, but I chose not to draw her because, you know, I don't know her. But yeah, I just kind of start drawing the things that are in this space. So like, again, I just kind of this year-long idea of people are surrounded by things. So I should draw those things and those people, you know. And then that's Amy, and she's the one that was, you know, that was infatuated with the broccoli. I still might do a broccoli drawing for her. And there's my friend Veronica again, and she's in that chair now. So now I'm sitting across from her while she's getting her eyebrows done. And I think I did this with a brush pen. So something like that. And I like to take my brush pens and fill them with a color. So I'll put water and a couple drops of a color in there. And it makes a really nice pen that's ready for drawing. I love this one because it really kind of shows like an environment. And again, I just did that thing again where I just like bunch it into a corner, leave a bunch empty. Love it. Oh yeah. There we go. So there she is, doing that. And it's funny because I was just there getting my eyebrows done again. And let me just make sure we're centered. And the funny part about that was I did this kind of drawing again, and it was way more abstract and way more fun. But yeah, I love stuff like that. And I love that in my sketchbook it's okay for things to just not be like amazing, you know? That is not the purpose of the sketchbook. I think I was getting my feet done a lot. This is where I was going to get my feet done. And it was great. And then just weird, these are just weird drawings, you know. So I think going into it, the space, you know, drawing in a specific space and drawing a people, drawing a person in the space is awesome for me. Going to draw a landscape is okay. That is more like a sketchbook thing for me. Like drawing a landscape is more like, oh, how does color work? As opposed to, oh, this is the most interesting thing I could do with a landscape. Oh look, I even wrote what this was. Faber-Castell 8 Pitt Artist Brush Pens. So I bought this set that was just kind of different gradients, which was the perfect thing. The perfect thing. I love a brush pen tip, you know, that brush tip, and I love drawing in any color. I draw in any color, but also I like the shades of gray and kind of black and everything, so that it kind of adds just a little more dimension to what you're doing. That is it's like all the stuff is right next to me. That's that, you know. There you go. So, and then back to this drawing. You can see I'm still fascinated with it. I think that was a book and a half ago, but this was in September, and I kind of found it again. And I love, okay, this is what I love. Look how the people kind of mold into each other. So it becomes like this mass in the middle, but then boop, boop, there's an arm, you know? I love that part where they go from being an individual and they go to, there we go. They go from being an individual and they go to being abstract. So that's just kind of my favorite thing. More love. And then this is the same day, same tree, different sketchbook. Because, you know, we're gonna practice. think I was looking at some like Renaissance paintings or something, and I just, you know, got those out. Yeah, this is in 23, so this book skips over to 23. I'm actually painting. I was actually about to paint these flowers, and I just drew them here to like learn their structure. Oh, this was from my nephew's football practice. So I went there, and he's, you know, 13, so he was a preteen at the time. And this is all the little kids and like their coach, and I liked how all the little kids kind of bunched their little heads together and kind of became like a mass of little humans. And gosh, I loved that day. That was a great day of drawing. And then I think when I got home, was this the same day? Let's see. Yeah, it's the same day. One thing I'll do is I'll draw in clusters. I'll just literally like in one day draw like 8 things, you know, on the same day. Because once you get warmed up and once you're like in it, you just keep going. And this was just my husband's shoes in the living room. And I really wish I had extended the shoes onto the next page. But I think by this time I learned how like the ink comes through from the other side. So I didn't want to ruin that page. It kind of makes me want to get into a bigger sketchbook, but I love this size. On this page, I was reading a book about composition, and I was kind of starting to, I kind of copied out of the book, you know, and just kind of copied the book and kind of fiddled around with it and figured things out. And it was okay. You know, it was all right. I got what I needed out of the book. Probably watching TV here, honestly. Okay. We were at physical therapy, and my husband was laying on the bed thing, and so I was just drawing him as he was on that, you know, getting his treatment, which was fun. And then I've gotten into doing this lately where I'm doing drawings of my husband while we're sitting on the couch. So this is like his legs, just his legs, which makes me think like, wow, okay, Hannibal Lecter. Again, that's just his legs, but I love the act of searching for a line and, you know, figuring out where those, you know, like how those wrinkles work, you know, how does that work? How does that become a view? How does that become a view that you can create, where you can create this kind of jumble of lines that add up to, you know, an image? Again, from the couch. If you were on my couch, you would see this vase, and you would see that vase, and you would see that vase. And no, they don't match, but that's not the point. Love new pens, love new colors, so there you go. Oh, and this was super recent. This was just last month. I'm starting to do a portrait of my friend's dog, so for commission. And so I started, because I honestly had never really drawn a dog before. So I just started drawing them to try and figure out those shapes. But also, I got back into gouache because it's like I had it, but I wasn't using it. And I think what I needed in order to use it was to practice painting more. And now I use it for my painting practice. So, oh, and I love to write inspirational messages in my sketchbooks now. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. And look, this one only has like 5 pages, so I'm good. Thank you so much if you held on to the end. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like and to subscribe. I will see you next week with book part 3 of 4. Have a great day.